Proposed separation of Talasea District in West New Britain. Tewai Siassi District plans to connect entire district. And boxer John Ume is first PNG athlete in Tokyo.
This is National EMTV News with Dennis Orere.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Wednesday's news. A submission has been presented to the Electoral Boundary Commission for the proposed separation of Talasea District in West New Britain. The submission outlines a critical factor justifying the need and reason to review the electoral boundaries. The report was presented during a consultation meeting in Kimbe between the Boundary Commission, Provincial Government Administration and relevant stakeholders.
It has been more than 30 years since the last review of electoral boundaries was done. During the consultation meeting, many questioned authorities what has been the delay of separating Talasea District. Participants believe the time is now relevant and appropriate to review the current electoral boundaries.
Population requirement for Talasea electoral speedy control to be over you.
Question me, plenty of the type of asking one in time I can make in this land. Me pack all get a recent only talk out things.
The discussions focused more on the compounding factors like high population growth, economic activities and the hardship faced by districts in delivering basic services to parts of the province. With these pressing factors, the submission carries more weight to push for the electoral separation. And Elite says administratively mechanisms must be established for a functional district administration.
To put our own mechanisms in the province in place to be able to take on this additional responsibility that's coming. So far, there doesn't seem to be anything. So my point was that it looks like that the electoral boundaries are doing the job of what we're supposed to be, what the province is supposed to have done.
Talasea District is among other few electorates in the country listed for electoral boundary review and possible separation. By constitution and parliament powers, the process has been slow. With the recent consultation, participants called for the three political leaders to push for the submission on the floor of parliament.
The government must take you into consideration.
People are members living in the national parliament, only that big responsibility no blame no disrespect. Honorable members, I'm starting to Honorable member,
the submission was presented to Deputy Boundaries Commissioner John Calamoro. Calamoro said the next step now is for a thorough and detailed review of the submission before a final report is presented to Parliament. He says though work may be slow, proper procedures must be followed before new electoral boundaries are identified.
So, Dr. Brebla, if I screw submission must be reflecting everywhere it starts.
Meanwhile, the two political leaders of the province have backed the call to review electoral boundaries in West New Britain. They say the current service delivery mechanism is stressed, compounded by many factors. Both leaders also expressed the support to push for the proposal.
I also appeal there must be an independent process, not purely by appointed or approved by Parliament, which always brings the political interest to come by the sitting members to decide whether additional electorate by affecting result long emma. This is like I'm thinking, yeah.
And we've been calling for a new district. We want it to happen so that we can be able to attend to our people. The people have the right to receive services that has to be given by the government.
Juggler Pava Jr., National EMTV News.
Member for Tewai Siassi District paid a visit to Berena in the Karakuri District of Central Province for a fact-finding mission yesterday. Tewai Siassi MP and Vice Minister for National Planning, Dr. Kobi Bomareo, says though the district is not looking at splitting the district, it wants to grasp the essence of establishing a functional district administration. Part of the visit also saw them witnessing a DDA meeting in Berena Station.
From the coastlines of Morobe to the inlands of Berena in the Central Province, representatives from LLGs and ward councillors in Tewai Siassi visited Berena Station. Their fact-finding mission was critical to align its district administration.
What we need, I think you both had given us depth in details of, from the administrative point of view and from the political point of view, how you run this dual system administration and a bigger district in this part of the country.
Karakuri MP Peter Isoaimo gave an overview of how the district is administratively functioning. Isoaimo says funding has always been an issue. He says funding is spread thinly to accommodate basic services.
If we were fortunate to have received all our DSIP funds, we'd achieve a lot more and implement a lot more projects.
Though Tewai Siassi is not eyeing the option of separating the electorate, it wants to learn from the Karakuri lesson, a district operating with two separate administrations. With the Electoral Boundary Commission undergoing consultative reforms, the local MP hope things will be done soon.
And we hope they fast-track the proposal to bring in the August session of Parliament so we can have this over and done with, get it adopted. Administratively, we are ready, I said, both with the machinery, the bureaucracy and the manpower, everything is already set to go. I have 6 LLGs, 3 in Karakuri District, 3 in Karakuri District, which is again in conformity already to the organic law and provincial and local level governments.
Meanwhile, the Tewai Siassi MPS declared its support to push for a split for the Karakuri District when Parliament resumes next month.
Population, land size, I think Karakuri District for another electorate. I would see that, and I would support the honourable member for Karakuri if this is taken up in National Parliament or in the government caucus. I would support him.
Jack Lopava Jr., National EMTV News.
The PNG Cocoa Board is set to host the 3rd Cocoa of Excellence show this year. Themed the COEX Show 2021, it will be staged in Kundiawa, Simbu Province from October 7th to the 9th. A national cocoa sampling and tasting competition will also be held concurrently with the show over a 3-day period.
As a member of the International Cocoa Organization or ICCO, the biannual Cocoa of Excellence show will be staged in Simbu Province. The show helps pave way for its cocoa farmers, grinders and manufacturers to participate in the Salondu chocolate. The show will be an entry point for PNG to the International COEX show. Governor for Simbu Michael Dua, who was present at the last COEX show in 2019 in Morobe, was given the opportunity to stage the Cocoa Excellence show in Karamui, Simbu Province.
I was the last one there. There was no member there. I was around with my former administrator, and we closed the show. And they were looking for a province to take a spear to host the next quality cocoa show, quality cocoa show. And I think on our regions they have the 10 already. Now almost didn't. Now we know where to go. No hat man looks is very. Me looking so mibla, store mibla. All my go kuragum na meeting was what is something so I have to take the spear.
Governor Dua is firm that the host province will stage a successful show only if they do early preparations.
So we immediately area organization working on groundwork maybe because by we deal with the crowd. So thank you long. At least you lost in Islam and so you Cocoa Board. But we lost the most province, we by start backside. At least we have to support you with funding. Anything that you need on the ground, we'll be there to help you out. So we'll make this Cocoa show become a successful one in the islands, especially for the simple people.
Dua says the show will be a good exposure for the local farmers back in the province.
So we support him, you support him, good government staff support him, farmers play good from rural staff. We support him, publicly staff the well made because they know produce quality cocoa publicly. Cocoa no well made to all showcase too. Now this la staff inside the promote you to province na country as a whole too. So we have to promote that and bring them to the next level.
Also present was Minister for Agriculture and Livestock John Simon. He also gave his support for the show.
We should take this to new grounds, new places, and encourage our people up there. Me, how much too, and I will support it. I told the CEO for Cocoa Board and Charles and the rest of the team. I said, let's continue this. Let's take it up to the highlands so that we can show them, we can tell them cocoa can also be grown up there. And I'm very excited as well.
Tewai National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. We'll be back after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Kimbe Fire Station has a new fire truck adding to the old infrastructure. Chief Fire Officer Bill Rue was in Kimbe recently to witness the commissioning. The truck has a capacity of carrying 12,000 litres, 3,000 foam, that is 5 times more than the current fleet can hold. There to witness the commissioning were the local political leaders and provincial administration. Chief Fire Officer Bill Rue says the department wants to help the province build capacity despite limited government funding.
Anid lo lig money, mi blak sim anid lo PIP, Public Investment Program, mi blak wakim house lo commander. And then you can see, mi blak wakim all barracks blok all firemen lawyer. So these are some developments that are coming to West New Britain Province.
We said the town workload keep expanding, and we have plenty all kaibar na kind all workload using gas na this kind. So it's unavoidable. However, you be cautious. But this like an incident, accident by come up all the time look Kimbe. The problem that's all time one building and fire. Suppose you may respond quick, you may can kill him fire die lo this building. That's all plenty time. You know got this like kind fire truck and lick you know got enough water time me work lo try attend lo this la narapla 2 3 building to empire.
Apart from only providing fire service, we can be able to also deliver. The fire servicemen can also deliver additional service to our community. That we can be able to do together. And one very important thing is that we have been seeing fire station in this place for some time, and the firemen also. Now we want to make sure that we partner, we recognize the activities that they do, and we can also incorporate them with our programs.
Body of Christ churches in the country, which are made up of Pentecostal, Evangelical Alliance and para-churches, say that COVID-19 vaccination has been rushed and unfairly forced onto Papua New Guineans. In a media conference yesterday, the church leaders said given uncertainties surrounding the vaccine and the way it has been administered, they are against the vaccination rollout. This stand is also against an earlier position on the vaccination taken by the PNG Council of Churches, which strongly encouraged people to be vaccinated. This statement by the Prime Minister at a business breakfast last week pretty much summarizes what the intention of the government and relevant authorities has been on COVID-19 vaccination in PNG.
Get also vaccinated if you have to. Very soon there'll be vaccine required, sort of, not just locally, but in my conversations with my peers in the region, the indication that you have to get vaccine to come to their country. So I'm just, for those of you who are businessmen in the room, don't be caught up in the cloud and stigma and hypnotized of those who do speculations. I'm a Christian, but I believe in also research-based statistics. And research-based statistics globally informed us that vaccination is safe.
But leaders of the Body of Christ churches, which represent over 3 million church members in the country, after doing their own research and based on reports received through their church members, have taken their position against the vaccination rollout, saying it is unfair and against people's will.
The Body of Christ's position on the controversial vaccine has been one of wait and see, or as the scripture says, watch and pray. We as responsible leaders, vested with trust and responsibility by our followers, have been cautiously reluctant in pushing something on our citizens
and particularly our church members, that is of a life and death matter, and which may have negative and destructive long-term consequences and implications.
Despite uncertainties surrounding the vaccine, the government is confident of its rollout.
People getting vaccination they're living with. The other day, someone was telling me, in fact, my kids were WhatsApping me saying that they say you vaccinated in AstraZeneca, you got only 2 years to live now. And I said, okay, fair enough. I could live 2 years and you could ascend to be a member for Tari when I'm gone. But get yourself informed, be vaccinated, live in a safe lifestyle, live with COVID-19, get to work. Let's not be fearful. This is the lifestyle now as it is.
We have obtained material information from credible and trustworthy sources from within Papua New Guinea itself and from overseas that has helped us to reach a conclusive position that these vaccines do have the potential of causing grievous bodily harm, leading to eventual death within a short space of time.
The church leaders say given that they are given that trust by their church members in which they are in positions of influence, they do not want to mislead people, but to tell the truth.
Information from talk through or believe, but most importantly, we believe in something. So they're not giving us the answer. Now, basta you looking at this paragraph, and talk long. People are using influence. People are influencer. People are out to talk about now also to how many? You know, politicians about Gaman about 5 year time or 12 now go hide about. People are preaching talk about dead in a life. The presentation whole, convincing me yet.
Now, when you have the medical world, when you have the Department of Health, MRI, very silent and not being responsive to the questions that we ask, only tells us that there's something wrong. And these are the things that the people of Papua New Guinea rightfully need to know. We cannot blindly go and take something that our medical doctors and our own scientists are not able to answer.
The Papua New Guinea Christian Professionals Network has unveiled some findings from its research done by its scientific or health professionals on COVID-19 in the country. Given that reports of workers being forced to vaccinate by various employers, PNG CPN has taken its stance based on its research and data. Executive Director Samuel Ray shared the professional network's views in a media conference yesterday.
So our position is the vaccination must not be forced on our people. There are in various capacity, people came forward asking us, our employer is telling us to get vaccinated. Even one person came in and said, we didn't have any choice, so I had to get vaccinated because of my job. And one person asked me at the church and said, they wanted me to get vaccinated, so I said, I didn't want to get it, and I'm here now. I have to leave the job. Government has to come out clear. If they said voluntary, then that's voluntary. And they must tell the employers, because I represent the professionals and the Christians, they must tell the employers to be mindful of what they're doing to their employees. Because if so many people come out clearly and say, their employer is forcing us to get vaccinated, then there will be a different scenario. So we are telling all the Christian professionals throughout the country, if your employer is forcing you to get vaccinated because to secure your job, you come out clear and go to your nearest respective, and then you launch your complaint. Because as far as all of us, we know, vaccination is voluntary. We know it. Because in our research, we found out that vaccine is still in its trial stages. And there is side effect. And they said there is side effect, but not that, adverse or, But then there's no evidence.
The National Airports Corporation and Madang Chamber of Commerce have met and agreed to allow for the contractor to complete the airport runway for the next 3 weeks. Acting Managing Director Rex Kiponge is appealing to the business community and the people of Madang for understanding. He said NAC will work closely with the contractor to provide support in order for the work to be completed on time.
On Friday, all flights coming into Madang will be stopped as work on the airport runway begins. Acting Managing Director Rex Kiponge said, under the method of works plan, Stage 5 of the runway reconstruction will end tomorrow.
Should be able to complete in about, say, 2 months' time, 2 months or 3 months. Our biggest problem is the weather. When there is rainy season, contractors don't work on the runway. That's for the air side. For the land side, we're starting on the terminal and the other apron and the taxiways.
Work on Stage 6 is planned to commence on Friday 23rd with 680 meters runway. Managing Director says the 3 weeks is not a closure of the airport as it was misinterpreted. The runway will still be available to twin auto and smaller aircraft operations during this 3-week period, but not Dash 8 and ATR type aircraft.
We've explained to the business community here who very much depend on the airport for business. We acknowledge the concerns and the issues raised. However, we also regret to advise that we have to give us time to complete the runway. And we agreed that the 3 weeks is a maximum time given to the contractor to complete the runway work that currently going on right now.
While work on Stage 7 is planned to start on the 14th of August, that will take 3 weeks to complete. The runway length that will be available will be 880 meters, which Dash 8, ATR and smaller aircraft will be able to use the runway. The full runway length of 1,570 meters is planned to be available on the 31st of October.
This also gives me an opportunity to thank the people of Madang, the provincial government, the landowners. We are not facing any issues, and that gives us also good time for us to work on the project. To take this time to thank the CADIP team from NAC, engineers from NAC. They are doing a wonderful job.
NAC is appealing to the people of Madang and members of the business community, including the traveling public, to bear with them as they work towards completing the runway. Martha Luis, National EMTV News, Madang.
Member for Tewai Siassi, Dr. Kobi Bomareo, today presented a check worth 3.2 million kina to Kumul Telecom Holdings. The payment is to enable connectivity for the whole of Tewai Siassi District. 4 towers will be aligned to make way for telecom and B-mobile services, as well as access to FM 100 and EMTV.
Member for Tewai Siassi and Vice Planning Minister Dr. Kobi Bomareo today presented a check worth 3.2 million kina to Kumul Telecom Holdings Limited for the purpose of setting up telecommunications infrastructure in his district. Also present to witness the occasion were members of the Morobe Provincial Administration and the Tewai Siassi District Administration. KTHL Acting CEO Amos Tepi said such partnerships with districts will allow for access to telecommunication services that will allow for improvement in other sectors of the district, such as health and education.
Vice Minister has actually taken this initiative to come forward and partner with retail business, especially in terms of mobile rollout. Rollout of the communication into those districts, it will cover in terms of education, e-library, and you're looking at health as well.
He also added that with this setup, other KTHL subsidiaries can also be accessed throughout the district.
It will cover radio link as well, Kalang FM. We'll have EMTV that will reach out to those places. And not forgetting, PNG directives will be coming online as well.
Member Dr. Kobi Bomareo said that DDA had built existing towers and that KTHL will now make sure that there is connectivity across the 4 towers.
Me and confront put the 4 tower. One in Siassi, 2 in Siassi, 1 in Sialum, 1 in Wasu. So at least close to half long, one of them people sorted my police. So you play what is it? Police and breast.
Dr. Bomareo mentioned that connecting the district through information and communication technology was a key priority.
You know, some leaders they try to engage with other private sectors, but who's going to strengthen, who's going to improve our own institutions? Communication is an important institution. Now you may go to fiber, you may go to something. I believe the call by the CEO is very important for all leaders to participate with the government to government.
Acting General Manager for Technical Services Anthony Pakakota said that the technical team have visited the site and are ready to progress the work.
We're talking about 30 communities, across the area. 30 communities that will benefit from these 4 towers when they go out, and with 3G service, enable the people to have access to those communication. 30 communities, across CO and Siarum and Siassi and big plus something.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Farm market report, the kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina will buy $0.2775 $0.3710 Australian dollars, $0.3926 New Zealand dollars, and 29.89 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee and copper closed higher, cocoa closed lower. Palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading lower, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues with more stories after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The United Nations Development Programme, European Union, Climate Change Development Authority and Enga Provincial Government recently launched a project of strengthening integrated sustainable landscape management in Enga Province. It is a 5-year project funded by the European Union to assist in strengthening sustainable and inclusive economic development of the province. Government representatives and donor partners were present to witness the launching.
The EU and UNDP-funded Sustainable Landscape Management Program will address 3 objectives: to strengthen the adaptation and mitigation component of climate change. It will also strengthen food and nutrition security and improving biodiversity through better land and forest management.
It's also not a choice between development and trees. It's not a choice between livelihoods and protecting the environment. Both actually go hand in hand, and that's the most important part of it.
Enga Governor Sir Peter Ipata says between 2002 and 2014, the province lost over 9,000 hectares of forest through development and expansion of small-scale agricultural activities and subsistence farming. Sir Peter said the ongoing forest clearing and the increasing in population has caused serious threats to the environment, and he said his government will undertake necessary measures to ensure that development pathways does not compromise the well-being of the environment.
Also take an integrated action that will have a positive impact across the economy and on the livelihoods of not only Engans, but all Papua New Guineans.
European Union funded the project with 5.23 million euros, which is equivalent to approximately 20 million kina. This is their support to farmers and women group to develop sustainable agricultural practices through small grants that will be established in the project framework, at the same time conserving the environment.
It will help them to improve their livelihoods and economics and get access to local and international commodity markets while conserving environment and biodiversity for their children and the children of their children.
CCDA and SEPA are happy to partner this project to address climate change effect to the economy and the environment.
Again, through the project, we are happy to build and harness this very important natural asset that's here in the province.
Partners involved are European Union, French Embassy, UNDP, CCDA, SEPA and Enga Provincial Government. Vasanatha Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Director of Policy and Legal Division from the Political Parties Commission, Emmanuel Pok, encouraged women candidates to join political parties and contest the 2022 national elections. Pok said in 2013, the Registry of Political Parties has revised the organic law for political parties to endorse 20% of women candidates. This revised legislation is yet to be passed by the government.
According to the Integrity of Political Parties and Candidates Commission, there are currently 46 political parties in the country. Director of Policy and Legal Division, Emmanuel Pok, said, however, 15 are currently active concerning the policies, ideologies and executives. Pok, who was part of a panel during the UN Women's Leadership Workshop in Leh, encouraged women candidates to be part of political parties and contest the national election.
We have good women leaders out there, and they are lost in the society, their communities. They need to come out. How will political parties know that there are good women there? They're credible. The women that can contest election, that can be a good member of parliament.
After the 2017 national elections, there are no women in parliament. The Integrity of Political Parties and Candidates Commission called on women candidates to be members of a political party so they can be endorsed and supported to contest the election.
You know, political parties must be institutions, because political parties are very important institutions that they form government. No individual member form government. Political parties do. That's why political parties has to be really grounded. We have to have clear, achievable policies. When they go into government, they can deliver their election promises. They can implement their policies to the people of this country.
Pok said in 2013, the Registry of Political Parties has revised the organic law for political parties to endorse 20% of women candidates. This revised legislation is yet to be passed by the government.
This is a very important piece of legislation and section that has been inserted into the revised organic law. When it's passed, we will have greater opportunities for women to participate in politics, and the responsibility will be taken up by political parties.
Processes, whether through political party, whether through the Registrar of Political Parties office, whether through the women's movement or legislative reforms, are necessary to facilitate, to ensure that women do get into 2022. However, I see these efforts have been going on for quite a while, and we have not had luck with these changes.
Julie Badui, Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
Tewai Sports.
Welcome to Tewai Sports. Boxer John Ume has become the first PNG athlete to arrive in Tokyo for the Olympic Games. He landed in Tokyo, Japan on Sunday with his coach Mark Keto. They were led by Chef de Mission Tamsin Wardley and the management team. Ume will become the 14th boxer to represent Team PNG and Olympian number 65 when he competes on 25th July in the lightweight division. Team PNG has 8 athletes and 11 officials attending the Tokyo Olympic Games. PRK Mendy Muruk's coach Roderick Puname praised his fullback Dixon Pipi for a sterling performance over the weekend. Pipi bagged the Man of the Match award after he helped the Muruks to edge Hela Wigman 18 points to 16 in the Intercity Cup.
To recover the ball, and this is Yay adding for the line, and he reckons he's scored.
The PRK Mendy Muruks elevated to second placing on the ladder after trashing the Croton Hela Wigman.
And fighting support on the edges, but cover defense coming across there, but they're claiming a try.
Muruk's rookie halfback Josiah Jimmy played a crucial role alongside fullback Dixon Pipi to deny the Croton-sponsored Wigman from scoring more points. Muruks grabbed a late converted try through winger Leon Undipia to snatch an 18-16 win.
Oh, Lama, good run, is able to offload, and here they come, the Muruks.
We have a new fellow that's playing halfback at the moment, Josiah Jimmy from the Cutters. We brought him in, so the combinations were a little bit off, so we just get back and make sure he gels in with the other half and then the hooker and the team as well. So that's basically that's what we're going to do coming this week.
Mendy Muruk's coach Roderick Puname applauded Pipi for showing great defensive leadership to help his side brag over the Wigman. Coach Puname said the combination between Pipi and halfback Josiah Jimmy is still shaky, but the former SP Antas assistant coach was happy with the overall performance.
So we had opportunities on our right edge, but it didn't work out for us. So that's something we'll go back and fix, and that's something Dixon needs to be aware with, because his communication with the halfback was off a little bit. So that's something we'll go back and fix. So apart from that, his kick returns and his general ball carry is good.
Meanwhile, the Muruks will take on the Central Dabaris in the round 8 clash of the Intercity Cup this weekend in Port Moresby. Suli Suli, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The weather details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region: Port Moresby, cloudy with showers; Daru, cloudy with some showers; Kerama, showers with thunderstorms; Alotau, partly cloudy; Popondetta, a few showers. To the Momase region, Ley, showers and thunderstorms; Medang, brief showers; Wewak, showers with some thunderstorms; Vanimo, cloudy with showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, a few showers; Kavieng, cloudy with some showers; Kokopo and Rabaul, showers and thunderstorms; Kimbe, brief showers; Buka, a few showers. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, a few showers; Goroka, few showers as well; Kundiawa, few showers; Mendi, some showers; and Wabeg, some showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
The way it is this Wednesday, the 21st of July 2021, on behalf of the news team, pleasant viewing, good night.